And I think that we got to teach people when they get here, this is a business,
Yes,
like
sir.
how that works. It's like even if you pick up the phone and say, hey man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you, and hang up. I mean, if that gets you in the dialing mood, then do it. Whatever it takes, right? I just, I know people are watching, and why not, show them what we're doing.
Thank you for joining us on our Family First Life Tri-State Serve the People podcast. We appreciate you tuning in, spending your time to develop and grow with us. Follow us, please, on all our social media platforms at Family First Life Tri-State or FFL Tri-State. We love you. Keep listening, and I hope this information is serving you across the country. All right, everybody, thank you for jumping on with us for our Tri-State Training Day podcast. We are in for a special treat. I got my man Dave Whichard, Senior Board Member of FFL Velocity, in the building in New Jersey, by ways of Roanoke, Virginia, in New Jersey with us today. We're excited to have you, my man. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. It's an honor to be in the office here with Mark and just learning from you, seeing everything your staff's doing. Super excited, and just we just want to come away from here just learning, growing, pouring into one another. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm letting you pour into me, but hopefully I can leave something behind here.
You're pouring into us too, bro.
I'm excited.
You bring a lot of experience to the table and have done great things in this industry. Got your integrity partnership not long ago, and that's had to be a big moment for you. Talk to us a little bit about some of the things you've seen, because you came through here like a hurricane, I mean, you're one of the fastest growing dudes in the history of the company as far as what you did in a very short period of time. I mean, you showed a lot of people what could be done, but now you've had the ability to kind of, cement yourself in. You've gotten your integrity partnership pretty quickly, so now you're on the other side of that, and you've gotten to look back some. So talk to us a little bit about your journey, some of the things you've experienced, and kind of what you're looking forward to right now.
Well, I think I came in and, I just, I listened, I watched. I always say that, if Sean told me something, I'd listen to him. Andrew, you guys, if I called you, I would ask questions. I would implement it right away. And, we grew fast. We were very blessed. I think we were blessed with the timing of it. God's time is always perfect. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what matters. And so we just, we went all in with this business, worked really hard. I feel like we gave back to the agents and gave as much away as we could in helping them grow. Looking back as we're going forward now, the integrity thing was not something that when I came here I knew about.
Right.
It's certainly a blessing, and to partner with a company like Integrity, it's just, how can I do better? How can I grow faster? How can I help more people? For me, it was an exciting day, of course, but at the same time, Mark, I think I shared this with you, but my wife asked me, I was, emotional, obviously. I just wanted to be on the team, man. I honestly just wanted to be on the team. Nothing's changed other than, yes, it's been beneficial for our family. We're grateful for that. But at the end of the day, we got to help more people. And so I was like, I just want somebody else to feel what I'm feeling right now. And so for us, it's just getting better. And, we're going through some transitions, different things, and growth, and just we're all learning. I think it's all a learning process. Literally 2.5 years in this deal in life insurance. Like I didn't do life insurance before this, so it's like I'm still learning. Like it's a day-to-day thing, right? Every single day I'm learning something new. And I think that's what we have to do, is understand that's what it is. It is a process. Yeah. I've heard people say it's a marathon, not a sprint. I like to say every day's a sprint, but it is a marathon. And I'm learning that as I'm in that, wherever I might be in that stage, 10, 12 miles, whatever it is, sure. Integrity was not the end result. It was just a place to get us to go more and faster and help more people. So I'm just grateful to be on the team, man. I hope that makes sense.
It does.
I think anybody can come here and grow a massive business and change lives if they're willing to work hard and follow the system for sure. Sir.
Talk to us a little about the name FFL Velocity. Like, where does that come from? Obviously, velocity means speed. Again, when you named the team Velocity, I was like, that makes sense, dude. They're moving at lightning speed. But I know in speaking to you that there's a little bit more meaning behind it. But I want to hear from you. I want the audience to hear why FFL Velocity.
Well, when we started to get to that point, Eric and I are close, and I always run things back and forth with him, and I was just talking about fast. Like I wanted to say, we were working fast, we were growing fast, we wanted to grow faster, and I think I have to give him credit because I think he said, "What about velocity?" And I'm like, it just hit me like, boom, that's it. as we were going back and forth, I threw out a few names, he threw out a few names, and my first thing was about velocity. I thought about a fastball, and then we started doing the logo thing, and then it was like I came up with this fast car, thinking that's fast, right? So we did the logo that way. But I think everything in my life has always been, I'm all in, until somebody stops me, hurts me, whatever. I'm a loyal guy. I'm not going anywhere. I mean, I was at another company for 19 years and wasn't making any money. So, I mean, my goodness, I'm not sure how much loyal you could be. I wanted to come here and I wanted to help other people, man. And so that's what velocity meant to me. It's just everything's fast. I think sometimes I do have to slow down. We talk about that, and pause and maybe take I don't say a breath, but take a breath and make sure we're doing the right things every single day. But at the end of the day, I think I was talking to somebody this morning. Matter of fact, it was Jonah, and he was like asking me about dialing. I told him taking action. And I think for me, it's just about the quicker we can take action in whatever we're doing. It's like even if you pick up the phone and say, hey, man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you, and hang up. I mean, if that gets you in the dialing mood, then do it. Whatever it takes, right? It's taking action in everything we do. Otherwise, we can just sit there all day and think through stuff. I'm not saying we shouldn't think. I'm just saying if it just keeps you from not moving forward and taking action, I think it's you just got to take action.
No doubt. And again, you're very humble, very hungry. You have the team mentality. I love it. I mean, I'm learning stuff from you every day. But you got a team of people, managers, board members, EVPs that are growing, that are coming right behind you. What are some things that you've done to cultivate that soil?
I think, again, that's a we're talking about some of that today. But I think we literally just wanted to duplicate ourselves the best we could and giving them the same tools, resources, ideas, and things we were doing, whether it be hiring staff at a certain time or investing X amount of, in the business. The one thing I did, Mark, as you did in this business, is I went out and wrote Hall of Fame, I think, and I've said this to our team many, many times, like some people forgot that part. And it's not that you have to write Hall of Fame, but to seed your business, I think 30, 40, families a month has to happen on a regular basis. And that way, because you have the money. The other thing it does, I didn't have people questioning whether I was working either, and the psychology behind the override and all that. And we actually gave it all away. So there's no way they could question either one of those things. Right. But I do think that's super important.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot to that, leading from the front. But as you said, you need the money to fund your business. I was never confused by that. You kind of came out the gates, started staffing up pretty quickly because you understood that as well. The more effective staff you have, effective being the key word, the more that's getting done at any one given time. And if you have the money to, as you said, seed your business, that's going to help. Marketing, advertising, staff, office space. All this stuff does make a difference. And it seems like you got that day one. Talk about the anatomy of your staff and some of the things you're doing to help them continue to see the vision for the company and to help them continue to grow FFL Velocity.
Yeah, I think our staff, we went through some staff, obviously. We all do.
Sure.
The staff we have now has been with me for a minute, and but they're still evolving. I think we're still figuring out talents, that they have, or they're growing in different areas and things like that. I remember speaking to Grady when I was still, Angel said, call Grady. So I did. And I remember him saying, like, sometimes you hire somebody to do a certain thing, but yet they're better at something else. Right. And so bringing them in. So, I think it's always a process. Here we're changing some things in how we're onboarding and recruiting and getting more of getting people started faster is really the key. And the conversion rate. I think that's what I'm focused heavily on right now. Sir. And we're making some adjustments to get that better. And I think that that's how we do that. And going back to, the teams, I think it's just finding other people that want to follow what you're doing, if it's working, obviously. Yeah, sure. And then for me, it was always looking at guys like you, Grady, whoever it was, and reaching out and trying to figure out what they're doing and how I can get better. And I love that part about FFL is as a family, we can come together just like I am with Mark and just be open about what we're doing. Like we're sharing everything because we understand the growth of the company matters. No doubt. It helps every single person here. And, so every day it's just trying to get better. But we started out, Aaron was he came in and started doing, different things, assistant. He's a good recruiter. So we're kind of taking stuff off his plate, and then we have this. We've got a new social media guy helping out in that area, trying to grow that area. The recruiters are always finding tuning, figuring out different systems, different ways to get cold markets. And we got to do cold market, but again, we have the warm market with the BOMs and things like that. So I think it's just figuring out their strengths and getting them in the place that they can win and help us grow. And that's what we're doing.
No doubt. Probably the fastest board member ever, FFL Velocity. The ability to bring on a bunch of people from your warm market that you knew, but talk to us. I always said to people, they go, Dave Whichard just, he kind of just knew the guys. I'm like, yeah, but they didn't have to come. Like, if Dave Whichard didn't have the personality, the integrity, the servant leadership skills, they wouldn't have came. So talk to me about the recruiting side of this business and how relationships make a big difference.
Well, so we were talking about that earlier and how without social media, we would not have grown the way we grew. And the reason, Mark, to be transparent about it, I didn't call people like I should have, and I don't know why. I just think it was, and I'll say integrity, because after I got here and realized, hey, we can save them, and bring them to a better platform. But what happened was the people that saw what I was doing, they reached out. As they reached out, we hugged on them, we brought them in. They asked questions. Eric was one of the few people that knew. I told 2 people, and I just came here and went to work. Once I figured it out, it was like, I got to tell more people, and the best way for me to do it was just to put it everywhere. We scaled our business to 5,000 friends on Facebook because I heard Sean do it. We focused on 3 legs because I heard Sean say that. We gave away comp because I heard Sean say that. I mean, I just listened, and whatever he said, the coach called the play, I did it. Now, obviously, as we talked earlier, there's different adjustments that we need to make and different people we can learn from, and we're doing that. But for me, it was just being out there. So I think no matter if it's day one, if you're here and you're brand new and you're not even licensed yet, start sharing stuff. If you're here and you're coming from another company, start sharing stuff between Tri-State, Velocity. I mean, you can go, FFL USA, go all down the list. If you just share so much stuff out there, podcasts and content, somebody's going to say, what are you doing over there? What is this about? But I don't understand that. Like, I still share as much as I can personally. And if you just share other people's stuff, they're going to wonder what the heck's going on, even if you haven't gotten really ramped up yourself. And then when you start putting your stuff up there, I'm protecting 20, 30 families a month, they'll call and figure out what that is. If they're not in our world, then they'll figure it out. But I think it's just being transparent and just putting it out there. And it's not about us. It's not bragging. It's like, hey, man, this is a great opportunity that can change people's lives. So why are we not sharing it with everybody? Why they could start part-time. They can start full-time. It's like, Sean, there's more, more people have second jobs anytime in American history. Last year we sold more life insurance in history of America that I know of, and those things. So if we know those things, and I've been in this business a long time, and I've never not been able to make money, no matter what it was. If I was knocking on doors, if I was on the phone, whatever it is, people need what we have. So why wouldn't you do something that's recession-proof?
That makes sense.
In these times.
Dude, I love it. Because now, as you said, with social media, I'm reflecting to you get to seeing your social media just nonstop. Stories, posts multiple times a day, encouraging posts, things that were happening in your organization, things that you were doing out there helping families, taking selfies with clients. Like, you were all over it. So I want to stay here for a little bit because I think there's a lot to gain from how you built your business. And when I asked that question, I didn't even realize what your answer would be. But you using social media the way you used it, you knew people, but you didn't necessarily call them, you're saying, I never knew that. You use social media as your voice, as your mouthpiece, and then they came looking for you, and you then talk to them on the phone. That's amazing. So I'm a new agent, or I'm an agent been doing this 6 months. I wanna start building. I'm uncomfortable. Social media makes me uncomfortable, let's just say. What tips could you give me? Because I have agents that have been here 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, asking me these questions all the time. And they're like, how should I recruit? I say, social media is free. It's free. So is your phone book, by the way. Mm-hmm. The 2,000 people in your phone, that's free too. You know, and your 3,500 Facebook friends, that's free. Mm-hmm. You know, Instagram, LinkedIn, it's all free. You don't have to spend any money just yet. Can you give us a little bit more color here and give us some tips on some things that would really nuts and bolts help people?
Yeah, I mean, I think, if I was talking to somebody like that, I would ask them if it's changed their lives. Does it help their family? Are they making, more money than where they came from? And if the answer is yes, if they're protecting 20, 30, 40 families or more a month and they've been here a minute, why? That's selfish to me. Mm-hmm. It's selfish because, if you don't put it out there, then there's somebody that you probably know is going to end up on your team. On somebody else's team. So why, if you knew Mark Mead was out there, or Steve Giordano, I can go down the whole list of people, you know who I'm talking about, Andrew Taylor, all these people. Imagine if they're out there and you're not the one that shares the information, that they contact you, and they actually know you.
Right.
They're waiting on seeing something, then you see Mark's post, and they go work with Mark. And you're like, wait, I know that guy. So my whole thing is, you don't have to like social media, but you just have to understand it's the world we live in today, right?
That's good.
So if it is, then why not embrace it and share other stuff? Again, you're not bragging, guys. It's about humbling yourselves and understand that it's not about you, that you could share something on social media could change lives. Like I do podcasts, man, and I'm like, it's just it's a podcast, and I hope that each time I do one, if one person matters, just one person, then that's what it's worth doing. Because it could be one thing that changes, one word you say. Same thing on social media. There could be one thing you post that could change somebody's life. So if you don't have a lot of friends, friend some people, connect with people, get it up to 5,000 if you can. You've got Instagram. You figure out there's ways to learn it. But at the end of the day, like Mark said, even if I was downtime, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and I wasn't on the phone or something, I was on my phone. And my wife could tell you, are you still on Facebook? Yes, because it's business. Like I'm sharing. Now, we have social media, and I still do it. Right. I mean, it's just a habit I've created that I want to share people's stuff and share people's stories. So, guys, it's not that hard. Like Mark said, it's free. And if you'll just be an animal about it, it's amazing what can happen. And that's all I did, Mark. I still don't understand it all, but I know I can hit a share button. The other thing is, I looked at it this way. When I realized that I had Joe. Yeah,
that's great.
But if I have Joe who has 4,000 or 5,000 friends, and Joe's not doing this, guess who's going to grow his business? This is the way I viewed it. If I tag Joe, he's working, I'll get him involved in social media. You know why? Because I'm sharing, and I'll tag him. Every person we tag, if we have everybody have 5,000 friends, start doing the math on that, and you tag them, then it sees how many. And then, so once I understood that part, it's like I'm tagging everybody I can. Now, obviously, there's so much time a day, but I'm like, tag as many as I can, whatever. So I just, I know people are watching, and why not, show them what we're doing.
I love it, man. And again, it costs no money. It's time and effort. Did you have a certain time of the day you were doing it? Did you have a certain schedule? Was it urge? Was it just, hey, content? What was your base to make it happen?
Well, for me, I got up early, and still do. Cheryl's working out. Hey, I'm here with you. I had people reach out and say, man, I was just looking for your post. So once I understood there were people watching, it might be an inspirational thing. I think I threw one up this morning real quick this morning. It was a habit. It's almost like going to brush my teeth. First thing I would do is get on there and hit something. And so I think it was anytime I looked at my phone, man, it's like I hit Facebook. My wife says, you're on Facebook. Yeah, but she understands why now.
Yeah.
Before it wasn't, dude, it's all business.
Right.
It's either I might see my family's pictures and business, and outside of that, dude, that's what I'm doing. Right. If I'm on Facebook, it's for the business. Yeah. It's not to look through everything. Yeah. It's to share, see what people are doing. What am I missing? Because again, it's a world. It's a virtual world that we live in, and they're everywhere.
I love it.
And I can touch people from here to California to Hawaii to wherever in a matter of seconds. So why wouldn't I share that? And I've had so many people, Mark, that call me, message me through Messenger or whatever, that have come to work here because of just something we shared, a video they saw, a podcast, whatever. There's a Todd Hosberg. We did a podcast with him. He's a Hall of Fame producer, and he has a guy named Melvin Tejada who's just fantastic, amazing kid, 22, I think 23 years old, just 30, 40 families, owns another business, works 80 hours a week, right? Mm-hmm. He would not be here if it wasn't for social media. Like I saw Todd's podcast that you did, and I reached out to Todd. And that changed lives, and he's changed lives, and he's protecting lives. So by us not sharing, we're missing all those people. Mm-hmm. We're missing people that are, why are we here? We're here to protect families in the field. Mm-hmm. So if that's truly our heart, why would we not share it everywhere we go?
No doubt.
And social media is everywhere we go.
Right.
Absolutely. All the time, every day, all day, every day.
No doubt. I love it, dude. Dude, it's just, this is going to help a lot of people because you simplified the psychology behind it. And I think that's what gets people. It's the overthinking of it and thinking that it's more than it actually is. It's really not. So I appreciate that. When you think about the evolution of the business, you know what I mean? From where we were 2.5 years ago in doing business a certain way to a year and a half ago to 6 months ago and one thing you can attest to is the business is going to evolve, and the changes that you have to make, the adaptation you have to make to continue to grow and move forward. What are your thoughts behind that in constant developing of yourself, your team, your organization, your thought process, your mindset?
Well, again, we can't control specifically what's going on in the world around us. You know, we had this virus that came out in 2020. We grew faster than anything because we made a decision that we had a leader came out and say we're going to protect families. We did that. Mm-hmm. Then we go through some different things in the economy. Now we're dealing with a different situation where loss of jobs, economy, whatever the case may be, people having second jobs. So I think it's just how do we do it? We talk about families versus income now, but at the end of the day, it's really about the families. So evolving, I think it's just people, for me, it's not overthinking it. Mm-hmm. I think it's continuing to work hard and make those adjustments. Mm. Not only monthly, yearly, weekly, quarterly, whatever, but daily.
Yes.
Sometimes hourly.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes you get a call. I mean, I'm on the phone. I mean, the thing is, you get on a call, you got to watch what you tell me to do, because if I'm on a call with Sean and I hear something, I'm like, I'm going to implement it right away if I can. Mm-hmm. I mean, the second I get off the phone, I'm making phone calls. What do we do? Yeah. You know, so I think that's the thing, is being and having the knowledge of listening to guys like you and Sean and Andrew. I can just go down the list of the amazing people that we have that work here. And if it's working, then change it, to that, not what's not working. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's a constant evolvement every day. We have like the virtual thing. I think it's great. I do believe hybrid's the way to go if you're going to try it, because some people can fail at it. I don't want people to fail at it. But I think, for me, always being in front of people is what matters to me. Yeah, and I think they're in the office more, they're on calls more, they're listening to. I just think that it can create laziness in some ways, especially if they're not in an office. But I do think there's a place for it. I mean,
which one? Tell her. You're saying.
Well, telesales. So a single mom with 2 kids that wants to do this business, somebody who's disabled, somebody who can't get out and go see people, whatever the case may be. If it makes your life better and you're working hard, then great, do that. But it's not for everybody. Right, so just because you see somebody on the phone and they say they're in their pajamas doesn't mean it's for you. I mean, I'm just saying, that doesn't excite me at all. It just doesn't. Like, why would that excite me? Now, my wife would probably say, if my wife was in her pajamas, I'd probably stay home and I probably wouldn't get a lot of work done. So that's my point. Right. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but that's a fact, right?
Correct, yeah.
I got to get out of the house, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to get out of the house, go see people, shake their hand, be in their home, and, whatever. So I think that we just got to watch that, and I think there's a place for it, but I don't think it's 100%.
Dude, so we had this. I love it, dude. Why would that excite me? I mean, it doesn't excite me at all. Listen, we got obviously into telesales, and what I realized, this whole work from anywhere, do what you want, live life on your own terms, dude. Those are actually broke people's slogans. Not for nothing. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but the reality is the person who's working from anywhere and doing whatever they want, they have no structure. They have no structure. They actually think it's fun to not have structure. And Dave, you and I both know, no structure, no business. Sorry. It's not a flippant business. It's not a do whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want business. It's actually having a schedule, a structure, guidelines, people that you're talking to, things that are scheduled, things that you can tangibly make happen, go see clients. You can do all that from the phone if it's structured. If it's I can jump on and off Zoom whenever I want. If it's I can go to my refrigerator and take out snacks every 4 minutes. If it's I can stop and go to walk my dog for an hour. That's not a business. I'm sorry if you think working from home means you can golf 3 hours a day, or you can go to Whole Foods for 4 hours or go to the mall. That's not business, bro. That's not a business. That's a joke. So I agree with you. It's about discipline and structure, no matter how we slice it. You don't grow as fast as you grew where you grew to if you weren't disciplined and structured. Right. You never have to tell me that. I watch the numbers. I watch the leaderboard. I'm watching you grow. I'm like, this dude's a machine. I don't go, he's working from anywhere. No one grows working from anywhere. So I never had to interview you about that. I knew, right? So I agree with you, dude. I mean, it doesn't excite me either, but I think there's a place for it, and I do think that it's for the man or woman who actually can control their urges and stay locked in. Because it's just too simple to go for a 2-hour walk in the name of I run my own schedule. And I love you, but that's not scalable. And no one's inspired by it, by the way. So I agree. But as we look at this thing and as we talk about the adaptation and the adjustments and the things you're doing to try to get Velocity to 4,000 families, 5,000 families, 10,000 families, what's on the horizon for FFL Velocity? What do you see is the next hurdle, the next jump, the next leap for your team to go to that level?
Well, Mark, and I want to just go back to that 1 second. There are guys on our team that are good at what they do and they are structured. They're disciplined.
No doubt.
And things like that. I got a guy, Todd Hosberger. I just mentioned him because he's gone through some transition. He's got a little bit more time with his kids. I'll just say it that way. And so it made sense for him to do it. Now, do I think he needs to put it out there everywhere? No, not necessarily, because he's so good at both of them. And that's the thing. Somebody who's really works hard and disciplined, they're going to be good at either one.
No doubt.
Right?
That's great. And that's exactly what we're talking
so
about.
Anyway, yeah. So I think that's the key. But anyway, going back to what was the question again? Oh, Velocity. So
the horizon. What are you guys looking at?
I mean, here's the thing. We're making adjustments. We're getting stronger. The growth is there. The pipeline is full. I mean, full. One thing I've learned in this business is if you have a full pipeline and you're always recruiting, it's going to eventually come. The volume will catch up.
No doubt.
The new riders, when we watch the new riders and they'll start to explode, the volume's going to catch up. We've done it before. We're going to do it again.
Amen.
And we're starting to see that. But we're making adjustments internally in our staff and our office and doing some different things there. But also our team's got to do that. But at the end of the day, new blood is new blood. We're bringing on new blood personally. We're doing that. We want people to do that. We got to understand that, yes, give away the comp to the right people. That's true. But business acumen is a big one. And I think that we got to teach people when they get here, this is a business. Yes, how that works. Save the money, keep it over here, pay yourself a paycheck. It's your business money. Don't starve it. If you had a restaurant, you ate all the food, you wouldn't have a restaurant. Say that all the time. So you got to do that. But by doing these things and adjustments, taking the excitement, everything's going on with FFL currently, duplicating other systems, podcasts, and social media, amping it up even more and growing the business, teaching people how to get off the quick starts, doing it the right way, buying leads, dialing the phone, going to see people. If they want to be on telesales because it makes sense for their family, then do that. But really just giving them every tool possible to win, show them the energy. And so I believe that we can get to 10,000. I do by the end of this year. I'm still that's the goal, and that's where I wanted to be at the end of this year. So I'm not giving up on that.
Yes,
because massive action with the right attitude can bring massive results. So that's what I see.
Dude, you're a stud, bro. You're a stud. I want you to talk a little bit about the Integrity Partnership, kind of what that's, what was that symbolized for you and your family, your team, and, why that partnership is important for someone who's looking to go after it.
Well, again, I think it created belief with our team. I think, that was one thing. But I think that anybody that wants to have a business and be able to partner with a company like Integrity, I don't know why you wouldn't if you're in this business for any length of time and you're truly wanting to build something. Because of what they're doing, all the different things they're able to give us, all the tools they're able to give us, the knowledge, and just all kinds of stuff from social media platforms to, Thomas Hart's just one game. But there's so many different things, CRMs and this and that. There's so much stuff I can't even tell you. But yes, the money's nice to be able to get some money and be able to know our family's okay. But at the end of the day, we're growing something bigger, right? As a team, working with Mark and literally partner. Now we are partners. Like we're partners before, but we literally are partners. Like we're back to back. We're on the same team, which we were before. But it's like he's got that gold pen, so do I, and it's real. And so, how many more people can we get to have that gold pen?
Amen.
You know, because I think there's so much significance behind it. I can't even explain it all in this little bit of conversation.
That's so true.
You know, I remember. I'll just say this: I watched Bryan Adams and Sean one day, and I was in tears on my couch. And to see those two men talk about God and see those two men talk about where they came from on that video. I don't remember exactly. He was talking about this picture. And I just knew I wanted to follow those guys. So at the end of the day, you can come to FFL for the money. You can come to FFL for the culture and all those things. But sometimes just being around the people like that and how they pour into your lives and following great men, it means something. It's going to affect you. It's going to affect your family, your kids, and generations. So it's not just the money that's going to affect us. It's also how we treat people. And being around godly men like Mark, you know, it's just the first thing we talked about was God when we first got here, remember?
Yes, sir.
You know, and that's what it's all about for me.
Praise God, man. Listen, you know, it's an honor to have you here, seriously. The more I get around you, the more I realize how much I admire you and how much you bring to the table. You know, I was watching you at annual convention lose your mind on stage. And I was talking to one of my guys, and I was like, that's Whichard. It's all heart, man. This guy just cares about people. He puts people first. Like, there's just seeds inside of you that are just destined to come out. And although I could not understand you, I understood you 100%. You understand? Because the heart, it was all about the heart. It had nothing to do with what you were saying. Seriously. Even you said it. You got, I've heard you say this in front of a room. Because a lot of people don't understand what I'm saying. But you could just see the passion for life, the passion for people, the passion to serve. And dude, I'm better every time I get around you because I become better at those things because you bleed it. So man, I can't tell you enough about how much I appreciate you, what you do for the company, what you're doing for your family, watching you as a family man and do the things you're doing, a man of God. I appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you. Love you, man. I appreciate you, everything you do. Thank you so much.
Training day, Dave Whichard. Crushed it. God bless. Appreciate y'all. Thanks.